Welcome to the Shortwave Radio channel and looking at my old receivers that I owned or still own. After the terrible disaster that was the Radio Shack Pro 26, after selling it, I came across the Pro 43 Hyperscan. What attracted me mostly to the Pro 43 was that it scanned much faster than other scanner radios. And if you did a lot of listening on the VHF UHF range searching for signals back then, well, it was important. A fast scan meant that you could, scan a frequency range so fast that you could, find all the signals that maybe you would have missed on a slower scan radio. So I was really, really interested in that, and it had all sorts of interesting things that I like, including the limit scan, where you can input just a limit of where you want to scan from where to where and things like that. And so it was, for me, something interesting. It was very expensive back in the day. I remember that not on sale in Canadian Radio Shacks here. I think it was something like $500. And then one day it came on sale at, I believe, $349, and which was still very expensive. But I took a chance and bought it, and I still have it today. It's still part of my radios, and it still works great. The radio was a little bit overhauled because what happened is that the rubber keys here, as time went by, were harder and harder to actually push and enter frequencies or commands. So it became kind of a hard radio to play with. So a friend of mine that likes to play with electronics said, "Hey, I'll do something." And so he took it for a couple of weeks, came back, and he kind of put a metal paint coat on each button and cleaned the contacts, which made it come back really, really working well. And actually, even today, it still works better than it worked in the original buttons. I believe the original buttons had some kind of a carbon type film on the buttons, and over time, with the contacts on the circuit board, it just didn't work well. What my friend did was use a metal paint coat that actually is much better and will probably work longer. There's some stories with this radio. So the first stories is, of course, I would take this radio in my winter coats in the winter, put earbuds, go downtown and listen to security, the security of the big buildings and the big shopping malls downtown Montreal. I would bring this everywhere. Also, what also introduced me to this radio was its capability of hearing the UHF military band. That also was something intriguing to me. I wanted to can I hear military stuff on this? And indeed, I did hear I remember one summer. Actually, quick story of it is the year that I had this scanner. I purchased it maybe the year before, but the year that I started using it really a lot is that I had a full summer I decided to take a summer off and do just what I want. And this scanner radio was with me all the time, and I would go everywhere during the summer. And I would listen to all sorts of communication. It was really, really cool. One day, while tuning the UHF military band, which I had not received much except some local airport stuff from civil aviation, because there's also UHF channels, I was tuning, and I still remember the frequency, 311 megahertz. 311 megahertz on the dot. And I hear these communications, and I'm starting to wonder what they are. But as I listen and listen and listen more, I realize, and that's back in the days when there was still a big military base in Plattsburgh, New York. So when that was happening, they had a lot of, Air Force training exercises. And I could hear those, and I heard them several times in that summer doing exercise of all sorts. So, of course, I would not hear them when they were on the ground, but I would hear them when they were on the air. And I was very excited. It's like, wow, this is so cool. I'm hearing military stuff. And of course, when they closed the base at Plattsburgh, New York, that's when I also stopped hearing military communications there. I haven't heard anything in 20 years, 25 years minimum in terms of military communications. Maybe I should scan more. Maybe there's some stuff sometimes, but it was really cool. That was one of the cool things. Another story also is I purchased another scanner radio that I will talk in the next video. And what happened is that my mom would enjoy, taking my scanner radio and listening to cordless phones or cell phones, or sometimes the police, just listening to what's happening in town with the police. And I would tell her, there's this, press this band for this thing, this band, this thing. She would, be capable of using the basics of, okay, I want to hear the cops, I press the 1 button for the bank 1. I want to hear cell phones, press 2, and so on. And when she moved to a whole folks home, I told her, I said, if you want, I can, just keep the scanner radio. And I got others anyways that I can use. And so you can still continue listening to the police and to cell phones until they retired all the cell phone towers and everything went digital. So it was kind of something that she enjoyed doing. At night, sometimes she'd be bored from the TV. She'd just, take the scanner radio and listen to what's happening. So she had it for a while. And when she died, of course, the scanner radio was there. I took it back home here. So it's here. It has quite a little history on it. And it's still works great. And it's one of the great little portable scanners that Radio Shack sold. And it was I'm still happy to have it today. If you have any questions or anything, of course, you can ask away. If you love my videos, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.